Co-founder Adam Newman stepping down.
That he's going to step down.
WeWork has officially come out and made a statement now saying that Adam Newman is stepping down as CEO.
I'm just wondering whether WeWork's failed attempt at an IPO, at least so far, is indicative of overly inflated valuations in some of the private markets.
And I think in the interests of himself and his own company, he needs to think about what's best for the company at this point. And I don't think it includes him. I really don't.
Well, there you have it, folks. Your boy called it over a month ago when they were talking about putting this IPO out. I was like, no way in hell is this possible. WeWork spends more money than they make, and it's billions of dollars. Like, how do you do that? I want to know how. Like, I can't even imagine the amount of money. Like, I can't even picture it. You know, billions of dollars. Do you have any idea what a billion is? That number is not really fathomable in the brain. It really is an amazing number. WeWork has managed to spend billions of dollars. It just blows my mind. And so now the CEO is stepping down because, well, they're forcing his ass out because he cannot run a business like this. They tried to grow it too fast, okay? There's something to be said for running companies the right way and being patient and letting the growth happen organically. And really all they just did, SoftBank, the Saudi Arabia company that funds a lot of this stuff, dumped a lot of money on it and said, okay, this is gonna solve the problem. This is what's gonna create success. Money, 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 money. Just keep throwing it at it and everything will go away. Wrong. They valuated this company at $47 billion this past January. Now they're coming back and saying, you know what, it's really only valuated at about $10 billion. That's over a 75% difference. How do you mess that up? So anyways, guys, if you wanna go check out the previous video that I put out on WeWork and come back to this one, I won't blame you, but please do that if you haven't seen the first one. This is just hilarious. I can't believe that this actually happened and it worked out perfectly. You know, when you look through that S1 filing, it's just like, they had no idea when they were gonna become profitable. So for me as an investor, if I'm looking at a company and saying, okay, what do you got for me? How can you help me, you know, help my money work for me? And you're looking at this and you're saying, well, we have no idea when we're gonna be profitable, really. We really don't have a clue. There's no timeline, there's no nothing, but we are valuated at $47 billion. And then you start to think to yourself, how is this possible? How do I look at this company that supposedly is valuated at $47 billion and then come back and say, well, we have no idea when we're gonna be profitable? That is insane. Do you have any idea? Like, do that math. It makes no sense. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna show you an article by the New York Times kind of announcing the stepping down of Adam Newman, who was the previous CEO of WeWork, and him stepping down and just kind of go over a couple things that I felt were interesting that you might wanna know. But man, I can't believe that I called this one. All right, guys, so here's the article with the New York Times. It says Adam Newman turned WeWork into one of the most valuable startups in the world, largely through the force of his outsized personality. I think at this point that's probably debatable. He persuaded investors to give him billions of dollars and employees to believe that the shared office company was changing the world. Again, that's debatable. That same mix of ambition and idealism forced Mr. Newman to step down as chief executive officer. After a lengthy board meeting on Tuesday, he was under pressure from directors and investors after he led a botched attempt to take the closely watched company public. The announcement marked a swift and stunning fall for Mr. Newman, who had an enormous control over WeWork and spoke about the company with missionary zeal. He said the company aimed to elevate the world's consciousness. This guy was a weird character. WeWork expanded the breakneck speed in recent years, putting co-working locations in dozens of countries and becoming the largest commercial tenant in Manhattan. It attracted a private valuation of $47 billion as recently as January, with top Wall Street bankers telling Mr. Newman that his company could be worth a lot more once its shares traded on the stock market. And here's the kicker for me. Look at this. Spending too much too soon on unproven business models only heightens the risk that a company's race for global domination can become a race to oblivion, said Len Sherman, an adjunct professor at Columbia Business School and expert in entrepreneurship. And that's exactly what I was trying to say when this all started. It just blows my mind that banks and investors would throw all this money at this company and just expect the problems to go away. This is one of the greatest financial screw-ups I have ever seen. Adam Newman needs to go take a Dave Ramsey class or something, because this is ridiculous. I just can't fathom spending this kind of money in such a short period of time. It just really blows my mind. And the fact that, you know, in the beginning that these private companies were evaluating this at $47 billion without really taking a look at the financials. Everybody likes to pick on the little guy about not being intelligent enough, about not having enough credentials. But really, when you take a look at this and have common sense about it, it doesn't take a genius. It doesn't take 10 years of financial expertise to understand just how screwed up this situation was. You know, I'm glad that they are not going to be doing an IPO at least anytime soon. And the other thing that drives me crazy is that they consider themselves a tech company. Really? When your entire business revolves around real estate and how well the real estate industry is doing? I think WeWork is really having some identity issues as well. At the end of the day, I'm glad that investors aren't going to get screwed over by this IPO and that somebody finally came to their senses, knocked Adam Newman off. Although, Adam, if you are watching this, I certainly would appreciate it if you hit me up. I could use a few $1 billion that I would love to spend however I wanted to. Maybe throw a party or two. That sounds like a damn good time. But that's it for me, guys. This is too perfect to just not go over and cover. You know, it's funny to me how people give me a hard time about trading penny stocks in the stock market and how they're all full of scams. But this is a prime example of just how the bigger companies can be just as slimy. You know, they just have deeper pockets, that's all. It's really important to do all of your own due diligence, guys, and stuff like this. And I'm so glad that I did this on WeWork. It just couldn't worked out perfectly. I'm glad that nobody's going to get screwed up. So that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to be a part of my WeTrade HQ community, that's absolutely free to join. We have an awesome platform with tools and resources to help you become a better trader. The links are down in the description below. It's absolutely free to join. I highly encourage you to do that. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I will see you all before the bell, and B Smith is out. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around. If you want to check out the previous WeWork video, click the link up here. If you want to check out my Barcast video where we go and have a whole lot of shenanigans at the Horse You Came In On bar where we drink and have a good time, click the link down here. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, please click this one up here. So thanks guys, appreciate your view, and I'll catch you in the next video.